Hey, YouTube, it's Southern Prepper 1. It just gets better and better, or really it's getting worse and worse. But the CIA has come out and said that they believe that Zelensky and some of his cronies over there, they'd be generals and they'd be senior government officials, last year alone skimmed off the top of our money that we gave to them, $400 million. If that alone should bring down this government, our government, the U.S. government. If men were men, we would hold them accountable for this. This is taxpayers' money that we are forced to give to the government because they know best. Then they give it away, and $400 million gets skimmed off the top. A month or two ago, I saw a report where some of the key government officials, and they gave their names, but I don't remember them, were driving very expensive cars. I can't remember the cars, but they were like outrageous cars. I mean, like $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 cars. They were driving them over there in the war zone. And these are government officials. To make it worse, Biden said that we're going to keep paying government pensions and government salaries over there. What is it going to take? And I'm talking to myself too. What is it going to take for the Americans, red-blooded Americans, to say enough is enough? I don't know when that's going to be, but I cherish the day it comes. And I know what that means. I know what that means. But our Constitution's very clear. When the government we have does not follow the blueprint and is contrary to helping us and doing the people's business, there's actual wording that says that we have a way to fix that problem. And now I'm going to get some people say, oh no, Dave, Christians got to obey the government. They're ordained by God. If our government is ordained by God and there's a mechanism inside the Constitution that gives us the right, the duty, the responsibility to fix the problem, then I think we're okay. When are we going to have enough? Is it when we're enslaved totally? When our children are enslaved totally? When our grandchildren will have no hope of a quality of life that my parents had, that I have? That day's going to come. The longer we let this attitude in Washington, the actions in Washington go forward, it's harder for us to fix the problem. Some of you are saying, Dave, it's only 400 million. It's probably a lot more than that. And really, one penny going over there is wrong. Instead of wanting to sit down with both sides and say, hey, let's immediately cease fire. Let's work this out. Let's save lives. Let's save people's property. We're not. We're eagerly going around the world trying to find more countries to help us arm the Ukrainians. Am I taking sides of the Ukrainians in Russia? No, I'm taking sides of peace. I've been to war. I have put men in body bags. I have collected their body parts. I know what I'm saying is the worst thing I want, the last thing I want. But am I such a weasel that I am pushing my responsibility off to make my son do it or make my grandchildren do it? I have met some great men around my area. I met one today. I'm going to meet one tomorrow. I've met so many good men, and I would call them godly Christian men. And you know what these guys do? These guys work their butts off. These guys are building something for their families. It's hard to build something for your families when you have an authoritative rule that is doing everything in its power to compress us, to push us down, to not support godly Morals. When are enough men going to say, hey, it's over, it's done, we've been pushed down, we've been downtrodden enough, we have put up with things that the world says is good, and we know they're not good, they're evil. And everything that's evil out there, that's morally repulsive, now is pushed on us as good. Oh no, tolerate that. $400 million. It's a lot of money, but it's the principle. It's the principle that our politicians would take this information from the CIA and do absolutely nothing with it. Nothing with it. So I'm not looking forward to politicians, any of those guys up in Washington, taking a stand more than just words. I don't know, maybe there's a few up there. Maybe they're not standing because they know we're not standing yet. Maybe when we stand up, they'll stand up. But you know what? Their job is to stand up for us. Their job is not to work to get reelected. But now that's their primary purpose. Get reelected, reelected. They start running as soon as they get elected the first time. They're working on getting back in there instead of working on solving problems and standing for what is right. It's going to be a painful, painful day when the good men and women of this country say, hey, we've taken it all. I can't back down. I can't turn the other cheek. You've crossed my line 16,000 times. I keep moving the line. I pray for that day when that line is there, and instead of moving backwards, Americans of all colors decide to step over the line and say, you know what, we're taking our country back. I don't know when that's going to come. I pray I'm alive. I'm pray I'm able. I'm physically able. Because I feel like we're pushing it onto our children and our grandchildren, and they're not equipped like we are. There'll probably come a day when we have to put aside the security of our jobs, the security of bank accounts, the security of homes, and we have to say, you know what? There's something way more important than all this comfort we have. It's a principle. It's a principle that we were founded on. It's a principle of righteousness. It's a principle of godliness. It's a principle of the moral high ground. I hope that day comes, because every day it doesn't. They get stronger, we get weaker. But I know there's good guys out there. I'm meeting with them. I'm seeing them. I'm seeing what they're doing. They're just trying to raise their family. Hopefully, we get upset. We do the right thing, and we restore some sanity in government. Thanks for watching.